Welcome to the Temple of Flame. And today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. And what you probably gathered is that this is something from Smashburger. And so they're doing a rebranding thing, I think. And I was not impressed with their stuff before, but part of their rebranding is they made a spicy chicken sandwich, but it's not really. It's actually just spicy tenders. Oh, you clever little kittens. And so they made up this Nashville hot chili stuff. And you can see these tots are tossed in it. Also, the bag is tossed in it. And of course, the tendies here are tossed in it as well. But they're part of the rebranding is calling it Scorchin. So when it was just called a spicy, when it was just a mere plain old spicy chicken sandwich, I had thoughts that I did a bunch of head-to-head battles, is what I call them, a bunch of videos where I would put products against each other. One of them was the battle of the spicy chicken sandwiches. And the battle of spicy chicken sandwiches had basically Popeye spicy chicken just running everything ragged, just knocking everything else to the floor. Because it is still a very good sandwich. Now, I would say probably the Popeye's Ghost is probably the best thing out there right now, because it is as good in flavor as the Popeye Spicy, but it is also hotter. Anyway, where I'm going with this is that I had designs of doing when it was still the Smashburger Spicy, I had designs of doing that against the Popeyes and maybe some other head-to-head battle of the spicy chicken sandwiches. I still might get to that in 2025. We'll see how the year shakes out. But I did a lot of different products in that series, brownies and nuts and stuff like that. And it didn't seem like there was a huge appetite for that kind of content. So I kind of let that go by the wayside. We're a little bit different now as things are. And I've got this huge libraries out there. But I'm thinking about going back to that again. If that is content you're interested in, let me know, and I'll try to move that up on the timetable. Right now, this is extremely topical information. So if you're watching this video in like 2028 or something, sorry about this section, but that's what chapters are for. But we will probably not be getting into any of the spicy head-to-head stuff unless there's a clamoring for it. But absent that, we probably won't be getting into any of the spicy chicken sandwich head-to-head battles until probably Q3 of 2025, unless, like I said, there's a clamor for it. But anyway, so we've got here the part of their rebranding, getting back on topic here, part of their rebranding for Smashburger is to call these the Scorchin Hot. So Scorchin Hot chicken sandwich, Scorchin Hot tots. They also have Scorchin Hot fries and Scorchin Hot tendies. It's basically a Nashville hot sort of oil seasoning, and they just throw it on everything. And it's not defined what peppers they're using, but as soon as they start calling it Scorchin Hot instead of just spicy, if you look at a lot of my snacks and stuff too, anything that uses really sort of aggressive adjectives, I feel like it starts to get into it's making a play for chili head territory. So for me, I'm gonna probably get it and make content and just see if it's satisfying and to what degree. So that's why we're doing this. And we're going to start off with one of these so-called Scorchin Hot Tots. So I also got these, they have these fried Brussels sprouts. I got them as well. Those were truly excellent. Well, I wish I wish more restaurants would do stuff like that. Just kind of get this sort of outlandish snack. Fried okra is another thing. If I see it, I'll usually get it. These are just really good. But it reminds me, they're not spicy, but it reminds me of, so these are Scorchin not hot Tots. It reminds me of when the KFC put out their National Hot the very, very first time. And a whole bunch of people that I knew in real life told me to go there and go get. I said, hey, KFC has this really hot chicken. Have you tried it yet? Well, I said, no. What's it? You know, what's it called? So I went there and I got it. The Nashville Hot thing. And I had it. And I went, maybe I got the name wrong. It was okay. It was very much obviously a cayenne powder sort of thing. Like, look at this. They're coated decently. So far, all I've had is the sides, the Brussels sprouts, and these Tots. I know. I'm filming this early in the year. I know, but this is not only the best fast food thing I've had in 2025, but probably for the past 2 or 3 years. Now, whether the chicken sandwich will live up to that, who knows? But you saw it was just attendees, some sort of white sauce, probably mayo, I'm assuming. Pickles. And these tendies. I don't hate this idea. I don't. Like if you don't want to have patties, you're a burger place, right? Smashburger. You know what? If you don't want to have patties and you just want to have tendies, I don't hate this. If you don't even want to have so-called Scorchin, you just want to have regular stuff that you can upgrade, I don't hate that conceptual either. Now I will say this. So far this is exceedingly mild. But let's see how the chicken sandwich does. Okay, it's a bit overcooked. And unfortunate. They put some of the seasoning on the bun too, it looks like. If you think cayenne is hot, you might, then that's what the person who told me that was, obviously, they thought cayenne was hot. So I went there and I'm like, what's, did I get the wrong thing? And I talked to him later, I'm like, what was it? And they let, how was it and all this, and I'm like, what was the name of it? Because I had the spicy, I had the spicy thing that they had, the Twister or whatever it was, numerous times. That one, the extra crispy Twister had some sort of like spicy sauce, which I thought had really good flavor, but I didn't think it was hot. Same with this. I think the flavor is actually quite good. And it works really well with these pickles. Look, this is a well thought out and put together sandwich. I will give them major credit. Did I pay a lot for this? Yep. Was it worth the 16 or 17 bucks? Probably not. Right now, I've already eaten almost all the Tots and about a third of the sandwich. I'm maybe at a default one as far as heat. So heat is, if you find cayenne hot, this will be hot to you. That very clearly is the majority of the pepper that they're using here. Honestly, probably exclusively. And I think that arguably is the pepper that everybody has had the most. Cayenne is used so ubiquitously, and it should. It's a great pepper. It's got great flavor. Different varietals kind of give you a little bit of a heat charge. It's, I think, a launch point for many of us into the chili head lifestyle, I guess, for lack of a better word. The only thing I can really offer this is that it could use a touch of sweetness. So if you have a nice high quality honey, you drizzle a little bit of that on there, that'd be just wonderful. As it is, it's a pity this is overcooked, which is one of the dangers actually of using tenders, though, I will say in this, is that there is way more breading than actual chicken. And it kind of punts the ratio a little bit. It is quite tasty, though. I have no complaints at all. Like, the bun is soft, kind of a brioche thing. For a burger place trying to step into that arena, they're doing it quite well. No, it's super nice. I don't have any complaints about this. I would rank it. That's where it gets a little challenging, because you have people like Houston, Texas, Hot Chicken did a review of their stuff. Dave's Hot Chicken did a review of theirs, where they're really trying to push the envelope of the so-called Nashville hot thing. Like, they're just stepping on it. In the case of Dave's, at least, their extra hot tender is just, it's really, really good. It's got a decent amount of spice, but still has really quite nice flavor to it. If you move to the Reaper, it is basically just a stunt tender. To me, not really worth eating, because I don't like Reaper powder that much. Same with that Houston TX Hot Chicken. I didn't get to try their liftoff, which is one step down from the Houston We Have a Problem. That's the hottest one, because they fucked the order. But I would have liked to try it. I imagine the case would have been about the same as Dave's Hot Chicken. Those are kind of in their own, I think, realm, though. When you look at fast food spicy chicken sandwiches, now this is back 2-3 years ago when I was doing the head-to-head battles. It was quite literally Popeyes and then everything else. I would not put this on the level of Popeyes. But I think it is pretty good. I would... No. Flavor-wise, I would put it in the upper third. Heat-wise... Now, most of the spicy chicken sandwiches are not hot. Heat-wise, I would put it probably... Probably in the upper 40% or so. But towards the bottom of that. Yeah. That's too bad. If these tenders wouldn't have been overcooked, we had some nice juiciness there, which to complement that nice mayo and those nice pickles, like the pickles are really quite good. In a lot of ways, this sandwich is like a distillation of a lot of things that came before it. You know, that was kind of one of Chick-fil-A's big secrets was pickle juice and pickles. Popeyes, this is essentially ripping off of them in terms of the brioche bun, the mayo, the pickles, and then they obviously don't use chicken patties, but I mean, you know what? If you're gonna steal from the top of the form. Yeah, I don't hate any of this. It definitely is more money than I would have liked it to have been, for sure. I think the chicken, so the sides I think were like $3-ish a piece, I want to say. Brussels sprouts definitely worth it. And these Tots. Yeah, probably. This chicken sandwich was like $8 to $9. And I think you're kind of pushing things. If you compare it to all the other stuff that's out there, it probably sits above those. But if your comparison is what is reasonable, even as you know, well done as this is, it just is not there in terms of, you know, dollars to, it's not consummate in dollars to quality. But I'm surprised. I haven't eaten a Smashburger for, I want to say 4 or 5 years probably, at least. And I was really not super impressed with them then either. But I will say this, they did a fantastic job with this. And maybe this was an anomaly, I don't know. I know their rebranding is definitely a big focus if you go in the stores and you look around and stuff. The Brussels sprouts, I don't think were there before. And those are just, they just did a great job. You know, and sometimes enjoyment of this fast food comes down to execution. I mean, you can only do so much with recipes if they're not faithfully followed, right? And that might be part of this, but I will say, I was every bite a better burger. I didn't have any burger. Yeah, I honestly am pretty pleasantly impressed with what they did here. Scorchin hot, definitely no. The hottest this ever got was the default one, you know. It did not approach anything that I would say is actually hot. The Popeyes ghost pepper is still probably the hottest commercial chicken sandwich out there. If it's still, I don't know. Popeyes is. I really wish they would, kind of pick a horse and stay in the saddle there. With them, do we have ghost pepper wings? Yes, but we don't put that on the tenders. Except now we put it on the tenders, but we don't put it on the patties. Now we put it on the patties, but how long? How long? That's like, what are you doing? Anything that's going to give you a lift up, a step, an edge, you should do that thing and keep doing it. So, hopefully their rebrand works. And, a Smashburger is going to execute like this. I hope they stick around. We need actual more quality places where, yes, it is still expensive, but you are getting a quality experience. I picked apart the chicken there, the sandwich part of the chicken where it used tenders. I picked that apart a little bit just because it was dry, and the ratio is off because it's a lot of breading for what chicken you get there. I think that that is something that they may need to consider at some point, but I don't know how fresh the chicken was either. So that could be an execution issue. As far as flavor, though, it was all there. It was all right there. Flavor was super good. Again, if you think cayenne is hot, you probably think this is hot. I personally don't find cayenne to be an especially hot pepper, and I haven't it's. The more you do this chili head business, the more and more peppers get to be essentially candy. So anything, including a habanero for me, and probably for a lot of the other chili heads out there as well, is mostly candy. And that includes the raw pods, which I've used a number of times to make omelets. I don't particularly like the raw pods, so I don't do it a lot, but it's all kind of a candy-ish thing. So it just kind of depends on where you're at and things. But like flavor-wise, from a foodie perspective, yeah, I was unexpectedly impressed, and we'll just leave it right there. So that was the Smashburger Scorchin Hot Chicken Sandwich and the Scorchin Hot Tots. Number 4. In peace. To serve the flame.